DMs, but I don't actually have verbatim DMs. I thought I did, so. Never mind. Dude. Wow, not one of you clipped that. I'm so proud of you. Wow. Oh my god. Hello? Oh, I do have to do the money thing again? Cutie, how was Vegas? Fuck. I lost the money. Cutie, how was Vegas? Cutie, how was Vegas? Oh, hello? I can't hear you. It's my fat wad of cash. I did it. Did I do it as well? I don't think I did it as well that time. Wow, Ryan, not Brian. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. The first time you've done that today. First time you've done that today. It's okay. Save the footage of the first time. Well, sometimes Fusion's hard work pays off, I suppose. You can send it to the Clips channel, Fusion. First take was better? I know it was, obviously.
I love you, cuties.
Are you able to get onto Instagram back at some point? I've emailed every contact I have. I don't know. I might have to make a new one. I don't know what to do. Wex text, thank you for the 9 months. I honestly don't have any clue what to do. Is Parkitect a fun game? It's a very cozy game. Where's that hoodie from? This is like Groundhog Day. Everything just restarted. Cutie on Insta would break the internet. I had Insta. I got banned. I only post once every like 4 months. But I did take a bunch of pics. And so I'm like, I'm bummed. I took a bunch of pics in Vegas. Where's my fucking... Dude, I am like a fucking mess. Did Insta ever give you a reason for a ban? Yeah, they said I was impersonating someone. Which was very cool, if you ask me. Oh, very nice, King. King Lily.
I really needed a distraction tonight. Thank you for the good vibes.
I don't know. Oh, Chloe, you're welcome. I will say, guys, I did record a vlog in Vegas, but I don't know if it's any good. I don't know if it's any good because it was at the Titanic Museum. And is that like not kosher?
Peepo, hey, I am dying.
Oh, Jesus, Vincent, are you okay? Is that not kosher? Is that like, you know, because it's like a tragedy, so filming a vlog, I wasn't disrespectful. I wouldn't risk it, it's fine. Who goes there? Okay. Why wouldn't it be fine? Well, fucking people film, like, take selfies outside of Auschwitz. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people are fucking awful. I realize that the Titanic Museum is different than Auschwitz. I know that. I'm just saying, it was a tragedy. I don't know. As long as you're not laughing at people who died or something. Okay, I did kind of laugh at the end because what they do in the Titanic Museum is they give you they assign you a person, and so you become that person. They give you a ticket on the Titanic and you're that person. And so you walk through the whole thing. And at the very end you scan your ticket and you see if you survived. And I was the only one that died, which was fucked up. of who went on the group with me. And so I'm like, what the fuck? I died? And then the lady standing next to me, she scans hers and she died. And I said, thank God you died too, because I thought I was the only one that died. And she's like, thank God I died. And I was like, I'm sorry, that came out wrong. That was a rough moment, I will admit. Yeah, and then they hold a whole room dedicated to Leonardo DiCaprio's balls. It was sick. You just walked in and they're like, this is what his balls looked like after they were frozen off. And you were like, wow, let me touch them. It was really cool. Show it? Okay, well. If that's okay with the museum, it's okay with YouTube. I mean, it was a very interesting, I don't know if I don't actually, literally don't remember talking besides going, ooh, wow, ooh. So I don't know how the vlog's gonna be, but I told DS Mac we'll just need a very creative editor on it. So to be tuned. Do a YouTuber voiceover? Oh, maybe I do a voiceover. Making fun of the movie is probably better than making fun of the event. I didn't make fun of the event. I did not make fun of the event. I was gonna record. I wanted to go to the Cake Boss. I wanted to go to Cake Boss Bakery. But I could have gone this morning, but I was with Ari and Atrioc and they didn't want to go. Or Ari wanted to go, but Atrioc was like, I don't want to be on camera. So that's why I didn't. Hey guys, welcome back to the Titanic Museum today. We're going to see if I die or not. Dude, I was so sad that I died. So lame. Atrioc did let the team down. You guys can blame him for that. Do they even film anymore? Film what? Oh, Cake Boss? No, I don't think so. You and Ari could have gone without him? Yeah, we could have. I'll be real. I was supposed to fly back at like 7 a.m. this morning. I couldn't. I could not get on the airplane. I couldn't get on the airplane. I couldn't get on the airplane. I couldn't do it. For those of you that are new here, I have a dramatic fear of flying. I have an awful fear of flying. And I had a really hard time getting on the airplane to go down there. Like, you know, a few panic attacks. It was awful. And I couldn't get on it. So I just drove home. Yeah, I hate flying. Guys, I have that thing in my tooth. I think I just got it out. I think it's out. Okay. It's not even that bad of a drive. Yeah, it's not. It was like 4 hours, I think. So it wasn't bad. It was just a bummer because the flight is like fucking 45 minutes or some shit. Like, so instead I rented a car and drove home. I did drive alone. It was a little scary. Anybody else in Vegas, when you get into a taxi alone, you think to yourself, they're gonna pull me into like a lot and I'm gonna be sold into sex trafficking? I'm pretty sure that like happens. Ugh. I can't sneeze. That shit happens. Vegas taxis are super sus. So I was like very nervous alone. That shit happens. I'm not kidding. Won't happen to you? Why? I'm not pretty enough? Is that what you're trying to say to me? No, I didn't taxi all the way home. I had to taxi to the rental car. Sucks to be a woman. True. True. Do they have Uber in different countries? They do? That's exciting news. I'm learning. Did I fly to Austin? Yeah, I was actually better on my flight to Austin than I was on my flight to Vegas. No one can tell me why. No one can explain to me why. I have a therapist appointment tomorrow, so maybe he can. I don't know. But look, I can't. I took such cool pictures. I tried to have like an influencer moment. I actually look awful in these. So I had a bad influencer moment where I tried to like have a little photo shoot with some milkshakes. I look so stupid. Chat, don't let me try to be an influencer. So I had a little photo shoot with some milkshakes. I bought some giant milkshakes. Took some pics. Literally bought the milkshakes to take some pics. And then, Ludwig bought me... Chat, this is a weird flex. It's not even a flex. This was absurd. This was absurd. So Ludwig had to buy a suit because we needed to go to the clubs, which we didn't even get into. So we had to go buy a suit. So we went and found a like suit place in the Venetian because we were staying at the Venetian. So we go and find this suit place. It's like totally overpriced, and it's not even like a designer. Like it's just an overpriced weird suit place inside of Vegas. And there's this dress that I like, because I didn't really have a dress. I had like some dresses, but I didn't have a good dress for the occasion. So there's one dress that I try on that I was like, okay, maybe I can wear this one. So I try on the one dress. Ooh, I look chubby in that photo. I try on the one dress, and Lud's like, oh, I'll buy it for you. And I like look at the price. Chat, let me show you this dress, and you guess the price of a non-designer. Let me show you. Admittedly, I look a little prego in this pic because I don't know why I was resting my hand on my tummy, but I was. Wait, where is the picture? So it's just a black dress with some like design on it. See that design? Oh, my fingernails are dirty. Don't look at them.
I love you, QTCinderella.
Guys, I'm not even kidding. When I tell you that
14
design,
months, very poggers, big W.
that design was like, you know that like glitter glue? That was put on with glitter glue. I'm not even kidding. I actually don't remember the price. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I remember the price. All I know is I wasn't going to buy it because of that price. What was the price? It was over... fuck me. It was... I think it was $1,600. Which is the most expensive clothing item I've ever owned. But Jurgen, thank you for the 14. Did I thank you? You should wear it for a week to get your money's worth. I don't even think you can wash that. Cutie spoke facts when she called us broke. I don't buy expensive things. I shop at Target. I didn't drink the whole weekend. I didn't drink the whole weekend because you guys know this, I'm a shy pooper. When I go on vacation, I can't poop. And I was not pooping. And so I couldn't drink because I was very like, I was having tummy issues. My sweatshirt is cute. This is from Dream HQ. It's an online clothing company. Luck on stream, thanks. Does drinking make you poop? No, but I'm just saying, like... I was like, I hadn't pooped, so I couldn't drink because it would make me so uncomfortable. Does that make sense? Shy pooper will always be shy. Yeah. Does that make sense? Is there anybody else who just doesn't poop when you're on vacation? It's like an issue. It's actually an issue. So on the last night, because I really wanted to drink, because I hadn't drank it the whole time. On the last night, nobody else. On the last night, I hadn't pooped for like 4 days, and so I was like, I give up. I'm going to go to Walgreens and get a suppository. And for those of you that don't know what a suppository is, it's like this little thing that you shove up your butt, and it's supposed to make you poop. Because I really wanted to poop so I could drink. Boot and rally. Poop and rally. And so we go to the Walgreens, and I buy the suppository, and I buy laxative pills. And we're in this long line in Vegas and checkout, and I get a big water to drink with it. And like, I think like got like gum or something and chapstick. And I'm holding this stuff in the line. I was like, oh my God, the person checking us out is going to think that like I'm doing anal, like I'm prepping for anal. I was like, oh my God, this is funny. Like, I was like, that's so funny. Cause that is, you do, for those of you who don't know, I've never done anal, but I have a lot of gay men friends who have told me about how they do anal. Don't say TMI. I don't care. This is human. We're being human. I don't care. And you have to clean. Laxatives are not what you do. You do an enema. But I do know people that have used a suppository. So it's like, you guys are dance gaming, but like, hello. This is how the world works. You buy a card with it so it looks like a gag gift. I'm not ashamed of having to poop, but I just thought it was funny that it looked like I was like trying to have anal. The struggle we bottoms go through. Yeah, it's like a whole prep. It's literally a whole prep. Like, anal can't be like spontaneous. Like, you gotta clean that sucker out. So anyway, so we get back to the hotel, and I'm like, okay, Lud's like, I'm gonna go gamble. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna shove this thing on my ass. Catch you in a bit. Because it's like, it will make you poop between 15 minutes to an hour if it doesn't call the doctor. And I was like, sick. It's not very big. It's like this. It's like wax. It looks like a wax cone. You shove up your butt. So and it like is supposed to dissolve, and then like that's what's supposed to make you poop. So I shove it up my butt, and then I start like packing and cleaning up, trying to, you know, wait the time. Hopefully I have to poop. And then finally I'm like, oh, I think I have to poop. And so I go to the bathroom and I sit down, and the freaking wax thing just falls out of my butt. So I didn't even poop. I didn't put it up high enough. Apparently you're supposed to like put it up there. I was just kind of like bloop. So I didn't even poop. This is a crazy story. I'm just trying to teach you guys. It didn't fall out. I guess I like pooped it out, but no poop came with it. It was just so annoying. I love how you're too scared to poop away from home, but you're fine to talk about it in front of 1K people. I will talk about it. I would love to poop away from home. My body just doesn't want to. So literally as I'm driving home to California, and I'm about 30 minutes away from the house, and finally it's like my body was like, oh, she's almost home, and like started like grumbling, and I was like, oh god, gotta hurry. And so then I got home. As soon as I got home, I pooped everything out of me. It's crazy. I pooped it all out. I drank even more water on vacation. Proximity alarm. Yeah, it was just like, I finally got in like the Fortnite bubble. How do you store that much over 4 days? I don't know, man. Do you think it's anxiety related? Definitely. I am very stressed when I'm on vacation. Crazy that the first Vegas story is about shit. My bad. That's on me. I'm sorry about that. I was in Vegas also this weekend and really wanted to meet you. I was able to meet Ludwig and he told me you were at the museum. LOL. Hope you had a fun trip. Oh, that's so cool. Did you see it? He was watch shopping. I went to the museum. I'm kind of a loser. When everyone's like, oh, let's go shopping, I'm like, I'm gonna go to the museum. But I convinced the people to go with me, so. How long did it take for you to get comfortable at Ludwig's house and poop? Dude, I don't even know. I don't even know. I like history museums. Guys, okay, here. We'll do, I feel like everyone in their goddamn world is doing Vegas story time, but I'll just tell some stories. I don't have a ton because I was so focused on my poop that, you know. Aiden, Aiden, you don't have to sign your message in chat as Aiden. We see it came from you. Did you take any videos? I did a little vlog of a museum. My editor is gonna have to do some hard work on it because I was not funny because I was at a fucking museum. Did you go to Vegas for the chess tournament? No, the chess tournament actually starts in 2 days, so I'm not going to Vegas. It's my thing, cutie. Oh, I'm sorry. So, number one, we are going to Vegas for Stan's birthday party. Or birthday. Well, it was like kind of mine too. It was like a joint birthday. But it didn't really feel like a birthday because it was like, you know. Mine was on the 6th. Stan's was on the 2nd. This was like 10 days later. It was like. Was it? I don't know. But. What was I talking about? What did I do? I know I was talking about poop. Okay. Chat, stop signing your things. Stop signing your things. You're throwing me off. Okay. So we get to Vegas and then I notice all these offline TV people are like posting that they're in Vegas. And I'm like, oh. What the fuck? And I was like very nervous about, like, I felt weird. I was like, I hope they didn't think that we were like following them, you know. But we were, so it's fine. So we get to Vegas, we see all the offline TV people are there, and the first night we get there, we went and I got spaghetti, which was yummy. I got spaghetti. And then I gambled on blackjack. I went up like $500. I love blackjack. It's great. And then we were walking out of the lobby and Pokey walked past us. And we were like, oh my God, is Pokey staying in our same hotel? And so Ludwig yells Pokey and she doesn't hear us. And so I'm like, Pokey! And she still doesn't hear us. And I'm like, oh, okay. So me, a normal human being who's never had one normal interaction with Pokemon, decides the way that I will tell her that we're at the same hotel is by I don't know why I did this. As a reminder, I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk. I don't know why I did this. But as a way of being like, yo, Pokey, we're in the same hotel. I don't know why I did this. I sent her a picture of herself from far away. I DM'd her this. So she's in the white. You could see, she's going into the hotel. She's in the white. Like... That's Pokey. So that's how I decided to be normal. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. I don't know why I keep doing that. And I said, we yelled your name and you couldn't hear us. That's what I sent her.
QTCinderella.
And I don't know why I did that. I'll be real. I don't know why I did that. She did respond and she was like, oh, hey. Let me just, I don't know. Let me find it. Jeez, I don't know what's fucking wrong with me. What'd she say? She said, Lamau, I hope I see you guys tomorrow. 3 hearts. And I just hearted it back. So I feel like we're on good terms. We're on good terms. She replied with, I hope I see you guys tomorrow, and a Lamau. So number 1, she thinks I'm funny. Number 2, she wanted to see me. So she's got a crush. And then I went to bed. I don't believe anything else eventful happened that evening. The next day was, she is still the background of my phone. Which I don't think she knows, but at this point it's kind of funny. Saturday we had tickets to a show called Absinthe outside of Caesar's Palace, which was pretty funny, but also like too on the nose, I feel like. But I did see some boobies.
I love you, QTCinderella.
It was awesome. I'm Dottie, thank you for the 2 months. Well, I didn't see real boobies, chat. She had pasties on, but she had like the tassels, so she like swung them around. That was very cool. It was awesome. It was close. But yeah, so we went to that show, but before then, what did we do? Before then, we did run into Pokey, and she was like, yo, you guys should come to DJ Mustard tonight. And we were like, okay. Or something like that. I actually don't know how we ended up at DJ Mustard's. I don't know. We got invited to go to DJ Mustard's. And so Ludwig, of course, then buys a $4,000 cabana. Okay, sorry. Let me not exaggerate. $3,500 cabana to go to DJ fucking Condiment. And I don't even know what that... I can't... Gun to head, you're like, QTCinderella, name a DJ Mustard song. And I'm like... Fucking... I don't know. I don't know one. I don't know a DJ Mustard song. But before then, what did we do Saturday in the afternoon? We woke up, went to lunch reservations at this place called Hex. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a bit of a foodie. You might call me a foodie, and I'm not like an annoying foodie. I'm just like, went to culinary school and am very passionate about flavor profiles and will roast a restaurant if it's bad foodie. So yeah, I'm like very annoying foodie. I'm someone you don't want to eat out with. But the cool thing about hanging out with a foodie like myself is I find the hidden gems. So I go to Hex Kitchen, which I thought would be a hidden gem. It's trash and overrated, and I want you guys to know that. But at least now you know. I got huevos rancheros, and they put a fucking scrambled egg on top. For those of you who don't know what huevos rancheros is, it should be like an open-faced, sunny side up egg. It was fucking... They put scrambled eggs on it. It's crazy. No, Hex. It's called HEXX. It was weird. It was weird. I mostly went because they have like bottomless mimosas. But, guys, the bottomless mimosa price was $30. I'm not doing that. Still worth? Fuck that. I'd have to drink so many mimosas to make that worth it. So I just order one mimosa. I order a pineapple mimosa, so it's pineapple juice and champagne. That is the most fucking watered down pineapple juice I've had in my life. I was like, what? I paid like $7 for that fucking mimosa. Anyway. Yeah, it was bad. So we go there. It was fine. And go there. It was fine. I don't know what I did after that. I think I napped. I think I got lunch that I napped. I have no memory of what I did after that, so I guess I napped. And then we went shopping for an outfit, so we went and got Ludwig a suit, and that, like I said, that place was crazy. And then Ludwig bought me a dress, and you could tell that place didn't have a lot of sales because they had 2 salespeople that were like waiting on us hand and feet. And it was I felt bad for them. But he bought me a dress, which was very sweet because I would never have bought that on my own. I would have never bought that on my own. Then we had to run up to the hotel room, get changed, and then go to Absinthe, which was over at Caesar's Palace. Ludwig didn't, this is the thing about Ludwig. Why do guys, he cannot pack for himself. It's actually fucking crazy. We go to Vegas for 3 days. Homeboy brings like 1 shirt and then the one he was wearing. What the fuck? And so he had to buy a whole ass new outfit, pants, whatever. And he was like, oh, well, I want to buy a shirt from Gucci because he's like a Gucci fuckboy. And so he's like, I want to buy a shirt from Gucci. So before we go to Absinthe, we actually run and just put our stuff upstairs because we didn't need to look nice for that. So we run and put our stuff upstairs. We walk to Caesar's Palace, which is a bit of a walk for those of you who know the Vegas Strip from Venetian. We were staying in Venetian. So we walk to Caesar's Palace. We get to Gucci. I have to turn the music off because it keeps distracting me and I'm telling my story slow. Or I need to like turn it down at least because I have ADD. So we get to Gucci and it's fucking closed off. It's closed. And there's this massive gathering outside of the Gucci store. And we're like, what the fuck? It's like, the store doesn't close till 9. It was 7:45. The show Absinthe started at 8. We're like, what is going on? What the heck? So then I say to just one of the people standing next to me, I'm like, hey, what's going on here? And she's like, oh, Floyd Mayweather is in there shopping. We can't shop with him? He's like too cool for that? Like, I don't get it. That's lame. We need to buy a shirt. Ludwig literally doesn't have a shirt. But okay, so Floyd Mayweather is in there, and so we walk down to see if there's another place for a shirt. Don't see one. Walk back just in time to hear this massive applause as Floyd Mayweather and his 12 fucking body... Why does a boxer need bodyguards? Can he just, like, beat the shit out of him? Like, I don't... But his 12 fucking bodyguards. Everyone's like, whoa, Floyd Mayweather, you know? And so they're like, oh, guns? Right. And so Ludwig's like, oh, let me get a picture because we're running late to Absinthe now. He's like, let me get a picture. At least that'll make up for running late. He can't even get a picture of Floyd Mayweather because his bodyguards are like 6 foot tall and Floyd Mayweather is like 4 foot nothing. And so he can't even get a picture. And so, you know, whatever. And we're walking away and him and Atrioc are talking. And Ludwig's like, imagine having like just that many fans that you can't even go out in public. Like, you know, it's just like, just crowds of people just be like, wah! And Ludwig's like, I'm going to be like that one day. I shit you not, within 1 second, all of a sudden, an 8-year-old walking behind us yells, Poggers! I was like, oh no, we need bodyguards. The children, they're here. And so he yelled Poggers and then Ludwig turned around and he saluted him. It was very cute. It was very cute. But it was just like very hilarious in that moment where Ludwig was like, someday I'll be like Floyd Mayweather, and then like a fucking 8-year-old calls out his name. Very funny. So then we go to Absinthe. Oh, sorry, I have the hiccups. Whenever I drink soda, I get hiccups. We go to Absinthe, which if you guys have never been there, it's like a mix of, it's like a tent. It's like a tent show. So it's kind of like a freak show where they had a guy stand on table and like stack a bunch of chairs up, like a lot of chairs, and then like tippy toe on it and spin around, and you're like, you're gonna die. And he's like, no, I do this every night. And you're like, this is stressful. And then this green fairy lady comes from the ceiling and she sings a song. And then she like takes off her bra and she has pasties and she makes the tassel swing in circles. And you're like, that was cool. And then she leaves. And then they make a lot of cum jokes. That like, just like, I'm like, everyone in the crowd was laughing. And I was like, this is not, like, one of the jokes was like, sometimes I think about a unicorn, but instead of a horn, it's a penis. And it's like flaccid and it's like flapping against his head. But then when it gets excited, it like gets hard and then it comes everywhere. I was like, yeah, I get it. That'd be crazy. You get it? It's like a dick. And you're like, and it comes and you're like, got there. So that wasn't very funny, but that's okay. It was a very impressive show. They just weren't very funny. And so then they had like these 2 people come out and like do some weird acrobatic like sex stance. Like they would like bend weird ways and like lift each other in weird ways, but then also like take off their clothes and like obviously not have sex, but like just like, you know, do like sexual moves towards each other. And you're like, that's just crazy. And then you're kind of like, I wish they would just have sex. I'd watch that. And they had this cool hula hoop guy. The most talented guy was this German hula hoop guy. And he comes out and he has like 20 freaking hula hoops and he's hula hooping with them. That was really cool. Another lady came out and she danced in a bubble. And you were like, that was weird. She wear like, it was like a kink thing, I think. That makes sense now. I think it was like a kink thing. Anyway, so that's what happened during that show. We leave that show and we have to rush back from Caesar's Palace to the Venetian. So we run to the Venetian. We have to get changed in order to go to DJ Mustard, which again, the tickets cost $3,500 for a freaking cabana. So we go and bubble latex. That's a kink thing. Sorry. We go back, we get changed, we go all the way back to Cosmo, which is like next to Caesar's Palace is Bellagio, next to Bellagio is Cosmo. So like we have to go all the way back to freaking Cosmo. We go upstairs to DJ Mustard, which has a giant... Oh, right. I forgot to tell you that. Ludwig got this whole suit, but he never got a Gucci shirt. So he had no shirt. So he had to borrow... He had to borrow a shirt from Stan's. Gucci was closed by the time the store was... Like, was the time the show was over. So he had to borrow a shirt from Stan. So he has this brand new nice suit, and then he wears like Stan's... I think Stan said it was like a 5-year-old button-up. I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Randy, thank you for the prime. Yeah, 3K from a cabana and no shirt. So anyway, he still stands his shirt. We go all the way back to sorry, my brain is fried. We go all the way back to Cosmo, and then we go upstairs to get in line for DJ Mustard. Again, I have no clue who DJ Mustard is, but apparently a lot of people do, because there's this massive line out front. And we're like, oh, where the cabana has to be a different line. Right? The cabana has to be a different line because it's $3,500 for these tickets. Like, it's gotta be. So we go and ask them, and they're like, no. And then Ludwig texts like his guy that's on the inside, and he's like, oh, you have to treat the bouncer. You have to take care of him. What the fuck? Like, what the oh, like, what is this? Fucking a TV show? Is this fucking Gossip Girl? Like, I need to get on my knees and like give him a blowjob, and he's like, assuming it's like $100, you know? So Lud's like, oh, how much? And he's like, oh, just fucking $500 after he already spent 3.5K on a fucking cabana. So then Ludwig goes up to some guy and he's like, hey, are you sure you can't help us get in line sooner? And like tries to give him the 500, and the guy's like, no, I can't. He's like, I can't. I was like, oh my God, my social anxiety is through the roof. My skin is crawling. I want to vomit. I hate this. Like I could never. And the whole time I'm like, guys, can we please just go stand in line? Can we just stand in line? I don't care if we miss the entire set. I would rather stand in line than try to do that. Mysterio, who, thank you for the sub. And so he says no. We go get in the back of the line. And then another one of like the bouncer guys is walking by, and Lud's like, hey, is there another line for cabana people? And the guy's like, oh no, it's the same line. And Lud's like, are you sure? And like shows him the 500, and he's like, oh yeah, there's another line, and like brings the group of us to the front. Now all these people are like pissed at us, and I'm like, oh my God, why? And so, you know, they pull us in, and we're up to the front. We're all getting stamped, which I think you can still see my stamp a little bit. Perks of being the whitest girl in the world. I stain. I don't get stamps, I stain. So we all get stamps, and all of a sudden Ludwig can't get in because he didn't have a real ID. So the whole week he had this temporary passport and this and his old ID from New Hampshire. So they wouldn't let him in without that. And I was like, fucking Google him, bro. And they're like, no. And I was like, okay. Well, lame, you know. So they won't let Lud in, and everybody else wants to go up. And I'm like, bro, I don't even like clubbing. I've never gone clubbing in my life. I don't even want to be here. I don't care. Like, I am so uninterested in, like, I don't care. And so Ludwig's like, oh, I'm going to go back to the hotel and get my ID. And I was like, I'm going to come with you. And he was like, no, you stay. And I was like, No fucking way. There's no service there. Like, there's no service in Vegas. I have no cell service in Vegas. And, oh, God. And so, oh, sorry. So we go back to the Venetian. We get in a thing, and we're in the cab right over. And Ludwig's like, "Oh, if you just leave the cab, the timer running, we will, you know, I just have to run up to my room and get my key or get my ID, and then I'll run back down." And the guy's like, "Well, I can't like sit idle in the entryway without someone in the vehicle." And I was like, "Well, I'll stay. Like, I'll stay." And so I am now hostage to the taxi cab driver. So then Ludwig runs upstairs in the Venetian, and you know how casinos are. It's like a fucking maze. So he's gone for what feels like years. And so then the cab driver tries to pull it up, and he talks to the valet at the Venetian, and he's like, "Hey, where can I park? My guy's running upstairs to get an ID." And they're like, "You know the fucking rules. You're a cab. You have to leave. You can't sit idle here." And then the cab driver's like, "I've got his girlfriend in the back." And I'm like, "Am I gonna die?" Like, and he was like, "Oh, okay, so you have to stay here?" And he's like, "Yeah, she's in the back." And I'm just like, "Peepo, hey." Like, so I was like literally a hostage. And then, so they're like, "Okay, you can go park by the limos while you wait." And so we go park by the limos, and it was like speed running small talk. Like, it was just like, oh, it's so hot down here, huh? Yeah. It's always been hot. Are you used to the heat? Yeah, I'm used to the heat. So, like, how long have you driven cabs? Oh, like 30 years. Cool. Do you like it? Like, it was not good for someone who has social anxiety and hates small talk. I hate small talk. And so I was like, what's your coolest cab story? What's your coolest cab story? And this I forgot to tell you guys, our ride over to Cosmo, our Uber driver was like, I asked him, I was like, "Oh yeah, what's your craziest cab story? Driving in Vegas must be insane." He was like, "One time I picked up a demon." And I was like, "So, say what?" And he was like, "Yeah, I picked up a possessed demon, 2 feet tall." And I was like, "Can you drop us off?" And he was like, "Yeah, she was a little person, but she was possessed." And I was like, "Okay, so it sounds like maybe you're like ableist or something. Like, I don't know if this has anything to do with anything." And he was like, she works at the haunted museum in Vegas, where there's a bunch of like haunted artifacts. And he said that she like became possessed from that, and that they dress her as Chucky doll, and she sits in the corner. And so when people are going through museums, she scares them. And I'm like, that's not a cool museum. That's not nice. That's not a cool museum. I would not want to go to that museum. Like, what the fuck? And he was like, "Yeah." And so I picked her up, and then she like asked me if I was afraid of her, and then I said no, and then she started hexing him. And I was like,
I love you, QTCinderella.
"Sarah, thank you for the 5 months."
Yay.
I was like, "Damn, does she watch Dream?" That's just crazy. That's crazy. And so,
I love you, QTCinderella.
so we like got her to her place and like got her out of the car. And Sarah, thank you for the 5, and Merrick, thank you for the Prime. Got her out of the car, and then she like left him a 1 star review, and I was like, that sucks, man. That's a big bummer. So then I go to this guy, I'm in this taxi cab held hostage with this new guy. And I'm like, "Oh, anonymous, thank you for that." And I'm like, "Fuck, I need small talk. And I go, "What's your craziest story?" He has the drama of fucking, who's dramatic? RuPaul. He stops the music. He puts he slams his hand on the thing. He stops the music. He turns around and he makes eye contact with me. And he goes, "You don't want to know the craziest thing that's happened to this cab." And I was like, I was making small talk. I didn't. Where's my boyfriend? I was just getting his ID, bro. Like, fuck. And he's like, "I have seen murders in this cab." And I was like, "In this seat?" Like, what? And he was like, "Well, not in this cab." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "I've been driving cabs for 30 years. I'm going to write a book about it." And I said, "That's very cool, dude. That's very cool." And he was like, "I will tell you about it whenever you want." I said, "Okay, yeah, sick. Okay, cool. But not yet." And I said, "Okay, sick. Like, what the fuck is going on?" He's like, "I've had ex-Marines in my car." Yeah, there's a lot of them. Like, I don't know. "I've had prostitutes in my car." Yeah, sir, you work in Vegas. This is not, what the fuck? "I've had every race, every color, every gender." I'm like, bro, I just asked like I thought you'd be like, "Yo, one time this girl got drunk and she threw up in my car." And he's like, just dead ass staring into my soul. And I'm like, cool. Right then Ludwig texts me and Ludwig's like, "Babe, can't find my ID, Sag business. Just like tip the guy and come inside." And I'm like, and he's like still staring at me, telling me about how he's going to write this book, but he just can't take time off. And I'm like, okay, well, so bad news. My boyfriend didn't find his ID, so I'm going to go inside. But I will tip you, to make up for this. And he's like, "Okay, well, tip my Venmo." And I was like, "Oh, I can't use the machine?" And he was like, "No, use my Venmo because the taxi, like the cab thing takes a cut of it. So you need to use my Venmo." I was like, "Okay, sure." And he shows me this QR code to scan. So I scan the Venmo. And I tip him $100 because, he sat there for a very long time and I felt bad about that. And I had awkward small talk and I was just so scared. And then he said, "Now you have my Venmo. You'll be able to find my book when I write it in the future." And I said, "Okay." And he was like, "And I will in the future." And I was like, "Bet." Bye. And he said, "Okay, don't lose my Venmo." And I was like, okay. So I go inside and I go up to, I find Ludwig comes down. We meet in the lobby and I'm like, no big deal. I didn't want to go clubbing anyway. Let's just gamble. Let's make the best of the night, blah, blah. And Lud's like, "I have a feeling it's at Caesar's Palace." And I'm like, "All right, let's go back."
You're a Pog streamer.
Let's go back to Caesar's Palace.
Subbed too.
Oh, thanks, biggest dog, for the 7. I was like, let's go back to Caesar's Palace. This has turned into The Hangover. We are not looking for our friend. We are looking for an ID that was lost. But it's the same thing as The Hangover. We start walking. I'm like, "We're the 2 best friends that anyone could have. We're the 2 best friends that anyone could have." And he's like, "Shut up." And I'm like, "Okay." And so we go get another cab. To go back to Caesar's Palace to see if his ID is there. In this cab, I've got a new cab driver telling me how he has this plan. He told me how he has this plan to go to all 43 casinos. He's like, "I'm going to go to all 43 casinos and win $100 at each casino." And I was like, cool. And he's like, and then I'll make $4,300 a day. If you do that every day, even if you win by 1%, you'll become rich. And I was like, this is very, very cool. And he's like, my wife and I, we have fun. And we were like, okay. Shows us pictures of his wife while driving. And I'm like, this guy's on some crack cocaine. This guy is on something. This is crazy. And he's just talking.
I always enjoy catching the stream. Keep it up.
Thanks, man. And he's just talking like 5 miles a minute about how his wife, I can't even describe his wife. She was like a hot blonde, typical Vegas looking girl with like just so much fake stuff in her face, and her hair looked like a wig, honestly. And he was like, we go and we play Casino War, where it's just essentially a game of war, but whoever gets the highest card wins. He's like, we do that all the time. It's so great. And he is just like, but people just don't know when to walk away, but we know when to walk away, blah, blah, blah. And it was crazy. He was crazy. We get out of the car and I was like, that was crazy. And Ludwig was like, I'm still Sag business. And I was like, okay, no big deal. Let's go inside. We go inside to the table that Ludwig was gambling at. And we're like, hey, have you seen an ID? She's like, no, I haven't even checked IDs. And Ludwig was like, that's weird because like, I played on this table. And she's like, you didn't. And he's like, I did. And she was like, you didn't. And then I was like, ma'am, he did. Will you just tell us if you have a lost ID? And she's like, I don't have any lost IDs because I didn't check any IDs. And I was like, for the love of God, imagine a world where you checked IDs. Where would you have a lost ID section? And she's like, I have no lost IDs. And I'm like, great. So then we go to the lost and found. And we're like, yo, do you have any lost IDs? And they look up Ludwig and he doesn't. And they're like, no, we don't have it. And I'm like, okay, great. So we're walking past that table again. And she's like, did you find your lost ID? And I'm like, and Ludwig's like, no, like, you guys are sure you didn't have it? Like, I went over here. She's like, I did not check any IDs. Jesus Christ. And so at that point, we just walk back. We just walk home. We're like, it's not, let's just walk back. Whatever. I think we took a cute pic or two. So Ludwig's sad, but I was thriving because I didn't have to force myself to go clubbing, which would have been like crippling social anxiety for me. So we just like, took some cute pics on the empty strip. Guys, it is literally 3 a.m. at this point. It is 3 a.m. We've gone back and forth. I'm just like trying to make the best out of it. I'm like, whatever. I don't want to go clubbing anyway. Like, I love exploring. This is fine. We stop at Walgreens, buy me some more laxatives. My favorite souvenir, some laxatives, and then we no, they're not cowboy hats on his shirt. It's a shirt from Disney that has a bunch of Disney character hats on the shirt. So we did not see DJ Mustard, chat. We had just no way to get into DJ Mustard. Which is fine. Like, whatever. I don't even want to go to DJ Mustard. And we go back into the Venetian and we're like, well, at least we can gamble here, right? And so then, Ludwig goes to go get a wristband because he had a temper ID. He had to have this wristband to gamble. So we go to security to get a wristband. We're there forever. We're there for so long. And they're like, sorry, sir, we need the real ID. And he's like, dang, that's a bummer. This is so lame. And then we're walking around. We run into Wendy and Abe, who were down on the craps table. And I was like, hi, guys. And I, for the record, I've never met Wendy or Abe prior to this experience. Oh, I met Lily too. But I see Wendy and Abe, and as soon as I see Wendy, I say, oh my God, congratulations. And then in my brain, I was like, please tell me that is Wendy. Like, it just came out of my mouth, and I was like, is that Wendy? Did I say that to the right person? Wendy's the one that got engaged, right? Wendy is the one that got engaged. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, what if somebody else got engaged? What if somebody else got engaged? Was it Wendy that got engaged? And in my brain, I just
Living here, the best
go
casinos are off the
blank.
strip, lol.
I just go blank and I'm like, it was Wendy, right? It was Wendy, right? Like, I'm like, Leslie's engaged. No, Leslie's always been engaged. Leslie didn't just get engaged. Leslie's always been engaged. Has Leslie always been engaged? Or did Leslie get engaged? Or was it Wendy that got engaged? Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. And so I'm standing there. The first time that I met them, I'm getting all mixed up. And, you know, Abe's there and he's like smiling. And I at that point I had shut down. I don't even remember saying hello to Abe because I was just so focused on if they got engaged or not. And then we walk away to go try to get Ludwig a wristband from the Venetian instead of the Palazzo, because there's like 2 sections of the Venetian. We thought we could trick the Venetian. And as soon as we walk away, I'm like, Ludwig, that was Wendy, right? And she got engaged? He was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, thank God. But then I felt like a jerk because I didn't say hi to anyone else because I was so worked up in the freaking engagement process. I was just like, it was very stressful for me. Anyway, we get over to the Venetian. She said thanks, but I feel like anyone would have said thanks because all I said was congrats. So she was like, thanks. We get over to Venetian. Ludwig gives him the ID and thinks he's successfully tricking him into getting a wristband when the freaking guy pulls out Ludwig's license. He's like, oh, look, I have your license. It got turned in at 11:53. Which was just lucky. It was just insanely lucky. So I don't know when he dropped it, how he dropped it. I think it was when I was hostage in the cab or something. I don't know, but Ludwig does have this mantra that's like everything works out. And it does for him. It really does. Everything always works out for him. It's very, maybe that's like the manifesting thing, but it's very impressive. And that did work out, which was great. And so then he was very excited. We went and started gambling. There was one cursed blackjack table that like I lost 200 on, and that was just weird. I lost it quick and I was like, that's weird. And then I later found out that the card machine they had on that specific blackjack table, there's like a bunch of different lawsuits against it. I found that out the next day because I sat at the same table and I lost again, like quickly. And I was like, that's so weird. No, it's like very specifically like it's a new card machine where it's like a fan of cards with only like 10 cards and then another 10 cards and then another 10 cards and then another 10 cards. It was so weird. It wasn't a normal shuffle machine. It was so weird. And like I was talking to someone was standing behind the table and he's like, you shouldn't be gambling on this table. And I was like, what? He was like an older man. He was like, yeah, that specific card machine, they have like multiple lawsuits out against them. And I was like, oh. And I'm not even kidding. Like, I can usually play, even if I lose, I can usually play blackjack for a few hours with like $200. But there it was like, it was just quick. It was just like you would win very quick and then you'd lose. Like it was very weird. It was a weird vibe where it didn't feel right. It wasn't the pit boss that said it. It was some other guy that was walking by. He's like, oh, you shouldn't be on this table. Never play on tables with that card machine. I'm not kidding. It was very weird. Something was off about that table. Any other table was fine. But it was weird. I'm almost interested to look into that card machine and how it works because it was weird. But I ended up going to bed around 4 in the morning and Ludwig stayed out until like 7 with like Myth and Mo at Atrioc playing craps. Then the next day is when we went to Black Tap, which is a restaurant I really wanted to go to. It's a restaurant that started in New York, actually, in Soho. It's like known for its burgers and its shakes, and they're very creative, and it's like supposed to be really good. And so we went there. It was probably one of the best restaurants we went to. So I'm really happy that I'm really happy that we were able to go there. But cool thing was, I placed my bet on the Suns on the over. No one else did the over, even though I told them to, which meant that the Suns had to win and score over 222 points cumulative with the Nuggets. And, you know, I would say it went pretty well, boys. I would say it went pretty well. Pretty well. Pretty well. The one thing I am good at is sports bets. I'm good at sports bets. I grew up making sports bets with my brothers. I actually love watching making sports bets with my brothers and watching together is like one of my favorite things. So it was really fun to be down there by myself and do a few sports bets and be texting my brothers, and it was really, really fun. I did all the prop bets. So I did the over, and so I got more than a 1-to-1 payout. Like everyone else was like, wait, why is my payout less than yours? And I was like, because you didn't do the over. And then I did all the prop bets. So I did like, and I would have gotten like all of them if it was Djokovic got kicked out of the game. So I needed him to have 50 total points in like rebounds, assists, and points. He was at 35, but then he got kicked out of the game for being a psychopath. I know I always say Djokovic. I know it's Jokic, but this is just dyslexia, so I always say Djokovic. Sometimes when I can't pronounce a word, I come up with a new name for it. Hermione to me was always Hermione. I'm very weird. It's literally dyslexia. Jokic? Yeah, I can't do it, guys. I know. It's really there. I have a lot of stuff that I just make up words because my brain just can't figure it out. Jokic. Yeah, you could tell me that. I won't remember. I'll call him Jokovic tomorrow. That's just how my brain works. I'm sorry. I'm very fucking dyslexic, and my brain will just if my brain does not compute a word, I just come up with a new one that it does compute. That's just how it works. I'm sorry about that. Shining Gold, thank you for the prime, and Sirfon, thank you for the sub. So I think I went the most up on sports bets, but that sports bets aren't as fun as winning at gambling. And so that was cool. And then I went to the Titanic Museum, which was cool. And I recorded a vlog at the Titanic Museum. So we'll see if that is a good vlog. I don't know if it will be. So I recorded a vlog at the Titanic Museum. Then came back, watched the Suns game, had to hurry and change and go to dinner at the Eiffel Tower. We got reservations there, which were awesome. I was very constipated at this point, and I couldn't really eat anything, so I was really sad. But it's like a good steak place. I got the salmon because I felt like it was lighter. It was, yeah, we went to actual France, Eiffel Tower. It was very cool. And we took a really cool picture. I'll show you a picture. Oh, maybe I didn't take a picture. There's like a view of the entire strip. So it's very cute. My thigh kind of looks fat there, but took a nice picture. And then we went back, changed, and gambled a little bit, and then tried to go to bed. And then I couldn't because I had a panic attack. And then I drove home this morning. I have a fear of flying. So I have a phobia of flying. And for some reason, it was just really bad today. It was worse for the flights to Vegas and from Vegas than it was for Texas. It just got built up. I had a really, really, really hard day today about it. It was so lame. I was actually really sad, but yeah. So I didn't make it on the plane today. Instead, I had to drive myself home. So I drove myself all the way home from Vegas, which was crazy. The rental car, I booked one. I reserved a rental car, but got to the rental car place and still had to wait 2 hours because they only had 2 employees. Now can we get dental? No, you can't. Do you like the great summer weather? It's only like 110. It was really hot down there.
QTCinderella.
Cyboy, thank you for the 2 months.
POGGIES.
I didn't get back here until like 8-ish. Do you guys want to hear the saddest thing? And I think only old heads will understand this. The saddest thing, guys. Sunday, I'm sitting in my hotel room, right? We're sitting in the hotel room before we go down to lunch. And I have a personal Instagram. So like I have Blair's Instagram. And I'm scrolling through Instagram. All of a sudden, Taylor, my best friend Taylor, posts this picture of her in fucking Las Vegas. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so I instantly call her and I'm like, Taylor, what are you doing? You're in Vegas? And she's like, oh, I left last night. I was like, you're killing me. You are killing me. And she's like, yeah, I came down Friday because we have a friend named Spencer who had a grinder. He met someone on Grindr in Vegas that he wanted to come down and hook up with. And so she's like, yeah, we flew in just for a night, just for fun. So Spencer could hook up with, this guy. And then we flew back this morning. And, they flew in that morning and then went home that night or something. Like, she just barely had left, essentially, is the whole story. I'm getting my timelines fucked up, but that's an expensive hookup. Well, I think the grinder guy paid for the flights. He was like some hot sugar daddy or some shit. But yeah, I was so sad. So I was so bummed because if I would have known she was there, she would have just stayed with us and probably would have come back with me, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I was so sad. I look like your math teacher. I bet I'm not your math teacher. But yeah. So that was, yeah. What was my favorite part? I don't know. I don't know if I can think of one. Sorry, Vegas turned out bad. I don't think it actually didn't turn out bad. I just can't think of a... I just wish I wouldn't have been, Oh, my foot is so fucking itchy. I wish I wouldn't have been afraid. I wish I would have been able to fly home this morning, but whatever. That shit happens. It happens to all of us. So yeah. I play any poker? No, I don't really like poker. Oh, another funny thing is Slime. Slime wanted us to, or Slime put $1,000 on red And he like, well, he like messaged Aiden. He was like, yo, put 1,000 on red on roulette. And so the last night, Aiden goes over to the roulette table, puts $1,000 on red. The rest of us are like, okay, we'll go in on it. And so all of us put, I had like, I think $80 left in chips. And I was like, okay, we'll do that. And then Atrioc put like 200 on it. And everyone just like essentially all in whatever chips they hadn't cashed out. We all put it on red and lost it. So anyway, I learned to always bet against slime instead of with slime as of that night. I also usually only bet on black. But, you know, we went with red. We went with red and we lost it all. Well, I only lost $80, so. It's way too hot in Vegas. It's very hot, but bucket list put 10K on black. Ugh, that'd be crazy. No Fido, thank you for the biddies. Anyway, I actually decided I'm not gonna play Park Protect because I just got hit with a wall of tiredness and Ludwig's no longer streaming. I didn't know how late he was going because it looked like he had a large agenda, so that's really why I went live, because I didn't have anything to do. So I am not gonna play Park Protect today. But
Hi, Mom. QTC Cozy.
hello. But I promise we'll do it tomorrow. Maybe after chess. And then before chess, we will, I think we're going to be playing a new game with, Dom. And, maybe this week, once we hit, the Bakeathon goal, if we hit that this week, then we'll do a Bakeathon this week. But I think I'll talk to Aiden and see if he wants to do, I finally got the Easy Bake Oven. So I think we might do Easy Bake Oven stream this week, me and Aiden. Aiden and I are going to do, I want to do some more co-streams with Aiden because you guys love him so much and I really like Aiden and I think it'll just be fun. Especially he's going to have a little more free time soon because he's going to be working with Mogul Moves Incorporated. Lady Biatch, relax. Lady Biatch is not welcome in the streams when Aiden's on the stream. But I think we'll just do random stuff like, I don't know, some little crafts and stuff like that. I just think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun to do some crafts with Aiden. Like the Easy Bake Oven and then stuff like that, so. Yeah. Not Aiden Ross. If Aiden Ross wants to do a baking stream with me, I will do a baking stream with Aiden Ross. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys tonight. There's the YouTube. I am still banned on Instagram, so if you have any friends that can get me unbanned, that'd be cool, but I get it. I appreciate you guys. Sorry, I feel like I was telling stories at like the slowest pace ever, but I hope you guys enjoyed them, and it was nice seeing you guys. It's been a long time. Missed you a little bit. I won't give you too much. I don't want any of that parasocial bullshit, but I did. It was I miss talking to you guys. I was sad. I didn't go live down there. Sorry if you offended me. No, you didn't, Alice. Don't worry. I wanted to maybe do a stream, but I didn't feel brave enough. Going live in public is its own fucking... It's a little hard sometimes. Especially, usually I would do it with Taylor, because she's like my nice little like support hype girl, but when you're all alone, it's a little weird. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now. I had a long day. Swift was so cute when I got home, chat. He was like crying, like rubbing on me, and he was so cute. He was so excited. So, and the cat cuddled on me for a few hours. So, yeah, it was cute. It was nice to see my animals. I don't believe I'll go on vacation anytime soon. I might go home for a little bit because I miss my home. But we'll see. It's so weird that it's like already mid-June and almost July. It's like, what? Where's time flying, chat? But I'll see you guys later. I just ran some ads for some of you because I just realized I didn't run ads today. Oh, but that means I have to stream for 3 more minutes. Why did I do that? Why did I just do that? Why did I run ads? That was a weird... I just saw the ad button. I clicked it. That was a weird decision. Do you guys want to raid? We can raid someone. We can raid someone. I wasn't planning on it. Sometimes I just don't feel like raiding someone. I don't know why. If I was a small streamer and nobody, like, raided me, I would be kind of tilted, but... Or kind of, if I... What am I saying? No one raided me when I was a smaller streamer. I don't know. I'm on crack cocaine. Okay. Raid Will. I listened to Will's stream for a second. It sounded like he was going to bed. Let me find someone to raid.
I love you, QTCinderella.
Colon.
Dice me down. Thank you for the 4 months. No, I want to find a smaller streamer who'll be like, whoa, that's so many viewers. I'm so nervous. This is crazy. So many viewers. Oh my goodness. And then I'll be like, you're welcome. This girl seems nice. Alright. Maybe she's ending. Shit, I just saw her wave. Are you
a pro figure skater? He's actually insane, dude.
Okay, I don't think she's ending. Alright, have fun. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you tomorrow. I promise. We'll have a longer stream tomorrow. Bye. Sorry, I was a little tired. I'll see you guys. See you guys. Bye, 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 bye. Bye.